Perspective is everything, in my opinion. It can just completely change how you view things and how you go about life. Like, for example, today I was supposed to have a meeting for my job that I finally got, and it was supposed to be at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I get ready, shower, woke up at 6 a.m. because I want to be that, that Mark Wahlberg of just having that 4 o'clock a.m. routine. You're just an absolute stud, a productivity machine, like nothing can stop you. That kind of attitude. And a lot of times I tend to resort back to the means of waking up at 10 a.m. and staying in bed. But now I'm in a position where I need to change that. As I was going through this period of where I was supposed to be in a meeting, my work was supposed to start, and it just didn't, and emailed them and like, what the heck is going on here? Did I get fired already? And she later responded back like an hour later saying, oh, we'll maybe meet at 4 in the afternoon, but for now just hang on tight, get in the office tomorrow, should be all good by then. And I was thinking about that situation, and like, I could have really took it, she was inconsiderate, I need to find a different place, but it's a small company. She's got a lot of responsibilities, and what she's told me in the past before is that, she was doing so many responsibilities of like a team of 10 people would, and it was just her and 2 other people. And without that context, I really would have gone on and been like, wow, this is a waste of time. What am I doing here? And it really developed like a closed mindset. But if it wasn't for that information, I would have seen it in a totally different way. And I think it's something I need to apply in situations where I don't have that information. If I was able to cultivate like a more understanding and more empathic way of viewing that, I would have been able to turn it into something productive or something like transform it in a way that it was a blessing in disguise. For example, I just finished editing a YouTube video that's going to go out. And I could have said, wow, I don't think I should be here. I'm just going to scroll on TikTok or do mundane things and just kind of sit there and complain about the situation. But instead, if I use that energy and transform it into something like, wow, I'm fortunate enough to where I can edit a YouTube video. I don't need to worry about having to make money yet. Don't have to worry about making ends meet, and really changing how I view it and seeing that I'm blessed and given this opportunity to do what I want, basically. And it's important not to waste it. And for me, at least, technology is a big enemy for me. It's a big double-edged sword because I just get so easily distracted. There's a million tabs that I can just click on and really waste my time. But reminding myself that I'm not going to get that opportunity again. I'm going to be working most of the time, and there's not going to be many days where I can just do whatever I want yet. And so I need to take advantage of that. And I think when you change your perspective on things is when you start adopting the mentality of always showing up, always being there when opportunity strikes, because it doesn't come frequently. And if you're always showing up, always putting that input, and your efforts are not revolved around the outputs or the results, you do tend to kind of end up in like a bit of a psychopathic behavior where you're just going crazy. Literally, the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But you kind of need that in some sense to really make sure your work meets the opportunity and it matches together and creates what you're seeking. I know that's so vague and abstract, but for example, what a lot of people deem luck is just showing up at every opportunity, at every turn, And obviously the opportunity is a lot of times random. You have no idea where it comes from, when. Sometimes there's going to be periods where it's just completely Sahara Desert dry out there. There's nothing. For example, like looking for a job in this market. It's really hard, even if you're Mr. or Mrs. Tidy Two Shoes over here. Even if you were valedictorian of insert whatever school here. Like, it's difficult, but you can sort of change that into, oh, well, I can use this period of time to develop more skills, always adapt, always show up to things, always change who you are for the better. Because we're just increasingly living in a world where everything changes and you don't even know if the skill that you learned back then is going to be relevant in the next 5 years now. And it feels like in later periods that timeline was a lot greater. There was a bigger gap to where you didn't need to adapt as fast. But everything is just going in a rapid fast food place, so it's important to keep up with that. And yeah, there's going to be external factors like family or friends that kind of push you to discourage you to not take those opportunities or take those steps. And it's really easy to just sit back and just scroll. Like, you're not offending anyone, you're not taking a risk or risking embarrassment when you do something. And it's the complete opposite is what you really need to do in order to achieve your goals and really mold you and yourself into what you would want to be. And to be a little bit more defined in what it means to show up, it could just mean a simple conversation with someone you're in line with, a simple post, reaching out to a recruiter, reaching out to anybody in your family, reaching out to a stranger at the bar. It's like branching out is kind of what showing up is, and making sure you're ready to take on the opportunity if it arrives. Because if you're not ready, someone else would be there. I was in line the other day and someone fell and collapsed right in front of me, and everyone else was so shocked in what to do. They just kind of stood there, me included, and it was our turn next in line, and some people behind us decided to just go up ahead, and they purposely said, like, I ain't got no time to wait anybody falling down, like, I gotta show up. And with no hesitancy, she just went ahead and took my spot, and visibly me and the people I was with really wanted to say something in that moment, but the opportunity was just gone. They took it, and it's a little bit of a callous move, in my opinion, a little disrespectful of what just happened, because this person could have just died, and they just took it. And that's sort of the example that what happens in the world just generally is the people who are proactive and take it, get it. They got in line, and they got what they needed before us. And there are certain circumstances where you should and shouldn't, like, morally speaking. And personally, I'm not saying go ahead and do that. Just completely ignore someone dying right in front of you. But it's important to keep in mind that the hesitancy can really kill your opportunity. Basically, what I'm trying to say is what you should maintain is, 1, be a good person, 2, be aware of when you're becoming hesitant and when you're not taking that strive for what you want to achieve. And when you balance the two is what really can set you apart and increase your trajectory of your growth by tenfold, more than someone that wouldn't. And I really think that's something you got to keep in mind. I got to do it too. I'm not perfect. But if you administer that in your daily life and your daily practice, going out and doing things that basically not being afraid to take risks, which something you heard all the time, but you can see when you don't, opportunities sort of close off. So it's important to keep in mind is how bad do you want it and how much work are you willing to put it in. And there are going to be days where you don't want to do that. I have plenty of those days, which really sucks. I wish I was the Terminator of productivity, but it's something I think about a lot and something I want to keep in mind before, my life just goes by. And admittedly, I'm a little worried about that happening, but I think with this kind of mindset and thinking, it'll open up a lot of doors for you, and you can start doing what you really want to. And I feel like I yapped a little bit, but hopefully that was helpful to someone out there. And let me know. I'm going to leave my email down below. I kind of want to do some submissions from those of you watching and sort of give you a response or answer, because these are just things that I sort of ask and question, think for myself about, and really want to share with y'all and see what y'all think. But there are a lot of things that I'm missing that maybe one of you guys can submit and I could talk about and be aware of. But regardless, that'll be the end of the video. Please like it, subscribe if this was helpful, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.